Right, welcome to part 2 of the solution to problem 9-6. We are just about done with requirement number 4, which talks about what the highest price is in terms of a rate per hour that we would be willing to pay for additional capacity, in this case, additional direct labor hours. So it's important to understand really what we're looking at. We've already established we're going to make mics with our additional capacity, and mics bring in a profitability of $6 per direct labor hour. So we currently pay $8 per direct labor hour. When we pay $8, we get this contribution margin per hour of $6. If we were to pay $9 per hour, this 6 would go down to 5 and so on. So if we paid $14 per hour, we would essentially make a zero profit on the item. So you could split hairs and say, well, it should be $13.99, so you can at least get 1 penny per unit, whatever. We're not going to fuss about that. The key, though, is we would be willing to pay up to, and maybe I should write that in here, up to $14 per direct labor hour. Okay? And no more. More than 14, we lose money. 14, we just break even. $13.99, we make a tiny little bit. Okay, that's requirement number 4. Number 5. Assume again that the company does not want to reduce sales of any product. Identify ways that the company could obtain the additional output. Okay, so the problem gives us a bit of a hint here when it says the company's plant has a capacity of 130,000 direct labor hours per year on a single shift basis. Normally, single shift is like an 8-hour shift. You can usually run businesses on more than one shift. It all depends on the nature of the production equipment and whether sort of daily maintenance is needed and so on. So, I've worked in environments where you had a day shift and an afternoon shift, which is really sort of like a normal day and then a early evening to, late at night kind of thing. But you can actually even in some cases add a third shift, so where you're working close to 24 hours a day. Maybe you've got a half hour off in between each one for sort of changeover and for whatever little maintenance needs to take place in terms of a daily amount. So that's possible. But of course the problem here is you're only looking for another 10,000 hours, and adding a whole nother shift means hiring additional employees and so on, and you're not giving them anywhere near full-time work. So that's not necessarily going to be useful. You could pay your existing workers overtime. And if they were working at time and a half, well, time and a half over and above $8 is going to be 8 plus 4, 12. So you're still going to make money at paying these guys overtime. So that's a possibility. Let's see, what else do you have? You could outsource potentially some work. So again, like the problem is talking about here is buying additional capacity. In some other shop where they're going to manufacture these things for you. And I suppose the final option, and perhaps depending on the situation, the easiest one would be, can you do what you do more efficiently? Can you actually shave a tiny little bit of direct labor hours off each product so that it adds up to enough to be able to make all 140,000 hours worth of products, what currently take 140,000 hours, into the 130,000 hours that are available, right? So that's like an 8% or 7% improvement in terms of efficiency. So possibly you've got options like that in order to to improve your output and actually sell all products. And that concludes the problem.